The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning this morning and welcome back to Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It is Thursday, the 12th of June, 2025, and you are on the clock with Erin, Greene. We got lots to talk about this morning. First things first, I told my producer, anytime he sees me slipping away from the straight and narrow path, anytime he see me living up to those words I uttered that I may be changing my life from Christ, play that gospel music. Right? Because we all need reminders. We all need support. Right? We all should be working toward building a community, a society that supports people in making the healthy decisions or healthiest decisions they could make. Right? And that's what our job is. That's what the government's job is. The government's job is not to do all the things, but to create an environment where people could do all the things they need to do for their healthy, prosperous development, individually and collectively. The personal, the family, the community, even in the professional world, right? We all have a role to play. Working for ourselves, if we're doing it the right way, will inherently be working for other people as well. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. So this morning, I have plenty of things I want to talk about. First of all, I want to ask the question, at what point in time is it okay to punch a raccoon? I'm not saying that I'm promoting animal cruelty. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is if the raccoon is in the mango tree, and when I tell him, get out the mango tree, he throw the mango at me. Is that an assault? I just ask him. The second thing is this. Don't ask me to be patient in traffic so you could finish your phone call. Don't look at me and ask me what the rush is as you look down to your cell phone that you think is hidden in your lap. And don't ask me why you speeding if you and your best friend doing 7 miles an hour side by side on a 2-lane highway because you all didn't go to Bible study last night. That's why we have 2 lanes, to accommodate those of you who are uncertain about driving but not prepared to put your keys down yet. And it's as simple as that. There are many spaces in which we give each other grace. We support each other. We practice empathy. We try to understand the specific needs of the individuals we are engaging in, no matter what the landscape is, but not on the road. Not in traffic. There's one job you have to do, and that's drive your car. Asking me to accommodate you so you could safely drive your car while you using your cell phone? You might as well ask me to help you move a key of Coke from the airport, eh? Why would you ask me to crime with you? You got to be bold enough to crime by yourself. Gangster, you can't do that by yourself. Mom, some of y'all moms on the road really are struggling with your shifting capacities and your sense of authority as you age. I could appreciate it. The world makes no space for anybody. If you can't make it yourself, you may disappear. But that don't mean you can get in that car and gangster on the road. Some of y'all really believe y'all are gangsters driving 7 miles an hour down the road. If you want to go somewhere, get a helicopter. That's called obstructing traffic. It's you're the one who's breaking the law. Especially if you're sitting in your car like many of you do saying, I don't care what you do or where you have to go. I can even slow down. I've actually driven with people who say that. See, that's where I practice my empathy. That's where I practice my empathy. We got to understand that we're in this thing together. There's very little you could do in this world on your own. Very little. And that lesson should have been forefront for us because we live in a hurricane zone. You cannot protect yourself from a hurricane alone. One tool we need to figure out how to sustain society and community. That's it, you know? But this road thing, boy, I've been waiting all my life to get old so I could tell y'all about how y'all is drive. But more importantly, so I could open up a space where we could examine how we treat each other, how we think about each other, because all of that manifests on the public road. Anyway, we got even more important things to talk about than that. Let's start the show. I want to introduce my guest co-host for this morning. In fact, I can let her introduce herself. Grab the mic, speak directly into it.
Hello, good morning. My name is Rodrika Cawley. Some refer to me as Rodrika Ajwa. That is an alias because I'm also an actress.
All right, all right.
And I am a therapist here, a mental health therapist here inside the Bahamas.
Absolutely. Well, listen, she's going to be a regular co-host on the show, partially because I need some help with my mental health and I need to show somebody to calm me down. But I'm interested in other voices, young people, also an advocate, advocating, engaged in activism throughout the country. Welcome. And let's get to our guests. This morning we have a group of guests joining us from civil society and the business sector. Joining us by Zoom, we have Mr. Mark Osmond. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
How are you? In the studio, I'm going to let the guests introduce themselves. Let's start right here.
Okay. My name is Q-Tel Taylor. I am the phlebotomy and customer service supervisor at Doctors Hospital.
Q-Tel.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm Brensel Roll, the supervisor at the blood bank at Doctors Hospital.
And I'm Pam Burnside, cultural advocate.
There you go. So this morning we are talking with my guests about a new technological advancement. We've got a group who is presenting to us some new technology in an extremely important place in society. Today, our guests are here to talk to us about a new blood donor app. And for some, app, everybody with a smartphone knows what an app is. It's a piece of software, right? And this software intends to revolutionize one aspect of healthcare in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Mr. Osmond, please tell us a bit more about who you are and about this new app, this new technology that you're introducing to the Bahamas.
Sure. Thanks, Erin, and I appreciate all the words prior because you're really pushing the idea of community, and I think that's what this is about, really. This app, what we call Blood Pact, because you make a blood pact, when you were small, you would make a pact with your best friend. But this is a mobile-first application and platform which allows essentially us to connect to community to support one another in that horrible time of need where you might need blood, right? We know in the Bahamas there's always a need, right? And so the idea here was to drive kind of like a data-driven solution, but a mobile platform to start to connect everyone through like a network kind of model. So we all support one another, right? Or at least and people that we know, right?
Absolutely.
So this is where it really started in Freeport, where my dad was at the RAN. I don't know if you all know the RAN in Nassau, but that's our hospital there. And at one point he needed blood, and so of course my older brother had to go and send out text messages to all of our friends, and luckily we had some good friends that came and donated blood immediately, right? But our hospitals are strange, right? They work so hard, and we don't even see the work that they do because we walk in and obviously we're distracted. We got other things on our mind when we walk into a hospital, but the amount of work that, our fellow Bahamians in the hospitals do on the side, it's, they just don't get the credit that they deserve, right? So
Yes, you're right.
this mobile app is just to offer a way to kind of, move our country into, somewhat of the, the new age, and start to kind of help each other out.
All right, so Blood Pack is a digital platform that people can use to put out requests for blood. So, for instance, I had to go into theater in August of last year, and the last thing I wanted to do was put a flyer out into the public domain with my face on it, saying that I was unwell, that I had to go to theater, and then on top of that, I needed blood, right? I hesitated greatly, but then everybody in my household was like, "You're not gonna die. We're gonna put this flyer out, right?" And I can imagine a number of older Bahamians, right, where the culture around illness and wellness, right, is very secretive. In fact, remember the movies where they say, the daughter asks the mother, "Why are you whispering when you say cancer?" And she said, "Yeah, because we don't give it power. We don't even say it out loud, right?" So a lot of people don't want that information to be public, but their families desperately want them to be safe, so they do it anyway. This app will give comfort to those people who don't want to feel exposed, right, in public domains.
Yes, Erin, on our standpoint at Doctors Hospital here, and especially in the blood bank, we have partnered with Mark because we have seen how social media has emphasized the need of blood. Every week or every month, we can pick up our phones and we see that outcry. And it may not be somebody we know directly, it may just be somebody we know indirectly, somebody's friend whose mother is in need, somebody's friend whose father needs blood products. What we have done is, because we want to make blood and blood donations a convenient thing. Donating blood it always seems like it's a challenge because of where you want to come. With this app, the hospital is able to put out pleas to people who join independently. You add your own information in there. So when the hospital is in need of something like an O negative,
Right. So it's a digital platform, but it's not like the Marcos alert. It won't be just sent out to everybody. It will only be sent to people who sign on to the app, who sign on to the program.
yes, correct.
Okay.
All right. So you voluntarily, add the app to your phone. If you want to be in the circle of people who are able to help, we just send out the flyer when the hospital is in dire need, and you get that notice on your phone. Hey, you can come in. Hey, it's time to come back in, and it connects us. It allows us to be able to help those in need.
All right. Has the app been launched anywhere yet? Mark?
Yeah, it's launched in the Bahamas now.
Okay.
There are some people here in Hawaii that are using it as well.
All right. So tell us how it works. Like, walk me through it. I'm going to go to the Play Store.
Yeah, you can go to the Play Store,
Okay.
or you could go to the Apple
App Store. Apple
App Store.
Yeah.
And then you just put in the name Blood Pact. So, blood and then pact with a PACT.
Mm-hmm.
And you should find it. It's a free app. And the one thing I'll add to Brenzel at Doctors Hospital, who I can't thank enough, is by having the courage to go towards technical innovation. But the one thing that I'll add on this for those who are going to sign up is that the idea of the pact, which is a networking model, is that you create your own social group that of people you're willing to accept blood from. You want to have alerted in your time of need, right?
Okay.
The idea is that everyone does that. And then the network grows.
All right. So especially if I'm living with a number of conditions, right? Like, I know I'm going through something and it may take 3 years, 4 years to resolve. I can create within my app, within the app on my phone, the network of people closely connected to me, and keep.
You would want blood from.
Okay.
Yeah, it gives you that health freedom, right? And you don't need an ailment, right? At some point, there will be some time that everyone's going to need blood, right? whether you're healthy today or not, like you don't know what's going to happen. You might, have an accident, or your friend might have an accident. It's totally unexpected. And the whole idea is just to be ready, create that network. And then if you associate your account with Doctors Hospital, I mean, it's totally free, right?
Okay.
It's win-win.
All right. No, absolutely, absolutely. I want to say, even if you're not thinking about yourself, be a part of the network so that you can connect others to it when you know they're in need. Right.
And I think also the accessibility of the app itself. This Saturday we'll be having our largest blood drive of the year. That's our third annual Glow Doctors Hospital Glow Blood Drive and Health Fair. We will also have the QR code, where all you do is take a picture of the QR code and it downloads directly to your app. So it'd be up to you whether or not you want to take
Right.
it. So we have that accessibility, that technological advancement.
And the app is on the Facebook page, right? I mean, the QR code. I found the QR code on the flyer, right? So wherever I see the flyer,
This one here, this flyer here is to sign up for the blood donation, but we also have an additional QR code for the app.
or like, I excited about this process of signing up for the blood donation. I want to talk about that because I've tried to give blood several times and I was unable to, right? And I think I want to talk about why I was unable to give blood, because I know it's the reason why many people are unable to give blood. Mark, we want to let's transition into the health fair and the largest blood donor drive, and then we could talk about what people can do with the app while they're at the health fair, right? While they're right there. So, Brenzel and Cutel, tell us about the third annual Doctors Hospital Glow Blood Drive and Health Fair.
Okay, so this year we have so many things going on. We have a variety of different sponsors. We have Titan, Bahamas Ferries, Craven, as well as the Blood Pact. We also are going to be having those who come out to the fair, they'll be able to get blood pressure checks, glucose checks, weight checks. We also have Titan giving away a free meal as well. So
For all
each
people who-
donor, yes, each
All right.
donor will get a free meal, and also those who attempt to donate will also get a free meal.
And look here.
Yeah. So then we're gonna fill you up right after.
All right. What I like is that with your blood pressure check, your glucose check, and your weight check, you also can get a reality check, right?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
this is a good time to sit with the professionals and say, okay,
Right.
now that I have the numbers, what do they mean?
Right.
And it's a good thing. We always like to promote what we give back during our blood drives, because these are free things that we give to the community. If you go to any type of clinic and different things just to get your glucose checks, at the end of the day, you might get charged for it. If you go looking for just your blood pressure, you get charged for it. But in a donation, just coming to donate, what we say is, hey, we're going to check your blood pressure, make sure it's high enough, it's in good range to donate. We're going to tell you your blood type, just in case you don't know what it is, and that's good for future reference and for now whenever you hear of people wanting to donate. We're going to do your weight check, just to check your weight, just to make sure you're good. And it's overall just a mini health check for you, which is free, and you get a lot of information just from participating in the donation process.
Absolutely, absolutely. Saturday, this Saturday, day after tomorrow, Saturday,
Yes.
starting at 10 a.m., 4 p.m., where are we meeting up?
The Doswell's Medical Center, where Luden is, right there in that parking lot across from Commonwealth Bank.
Okay, hold on. Okay, first of all, you all know where Dowswell Street is?
Yeah.
So Dowswell Street between Bay Street and Shirley Street.
Right.
That's the road where the model bakery is.
Yeah.
Let them know right there.
With the small dinner rolls so you could moderate your bread consumption.
And the twist.
No, don't mix. While my nose maintains its capacity, my eyes stop working when I walk into Model Bakery, so I don't see the twist. But so Dowswell Street is the road between Shirley Street and Bay Street, and
You're
we
traveling east.
Yes.
And just before you get to the church building there on the right-hand side, that would be where you go through. Or you could park across the road, and that's that's where they'll be taking the blood in that small
In the
doctor.
medical
I
center.
call it the doctor's
And so
hospital annex.
if you're coming up Shirley Street, you're going to turn right at the corner, like just past the doctor's hospital parking lot.
Yeah, just as you see the doctor's hospital come up,
Yeah.
it's going to be that corner right on the right.
You turn
and
through
it's
there.
Central Gospel Chapel, I think, is on
Yeah.
the left.
Yeah.
And you take that left right there, and we will be right out there with the tents. You'll see all the flyers. You'll see, because we sure the people are going to show it in drones.
You're going to have a bouncing castle?
I'm gonna ask if they got music.
We got music. Yeah.
Definitely having
You see how they bounce right past the bouncing castle question?
Yes, the parents can be busy in the chair and they can't look after the children.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. So we can have some music. We can have some vendors out there, health screenings available, people to talk to about your results. Because I think that's a part of shifting the culture, right? I have a scale at home, but I don't like to talk to myself after I get on the scale. I don't like the things I say to myself, right? But sitting with a professional who understands the need to help people shift culture.
We'll have all our doctors' hospital vendors out there also, and they
Okay.
provide a range of services. We'll have our IOL department out there who deals with all of our learning and
IOL.
higher level learning, such as phlebotomy classes, which they provide at doctors' hospital. And
Hold on, I could become a phlebotomist right here at home?
yeah, man, you don't gotta go nowhere.
Long time. So
Kermit,
They
career
offer
change,
so many-
change.
so
I have to
many
change my
different
life back to
courses.
Christ, man. It was 3 minutes long, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. Be back to Christ. This is awesome. It's a great skill to have, and it could take you all over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're also we're gonna have a lamp out there. They could sign you up for insurance.
Okay,
We
okay.
also are gonna have our nutrition department out there, so they're gonna teach you a lot of different healthy habits to take on. They also have rehab that's gonna be out there. So they'll be showing you different exercises which you can do to improve your health. Yeah.
All right.
We are also gonna have who else? Pharmacy out there.
Pharmacy, rehab, all your medical needs.
Right.
You could sign up. And of course, the blood bank.
Right.
We'll
Will
be
be there.
celebrating
Yeah.
and commemorating
Yeah.
these donors who come in and donate multiple times throughout the year.
Yeah.
Listen,
The
and
heroes.
that's the word right
Yeah,
there.
the superheroes.
There are people who they make it a point.
yeah.
They have it on the schedule once a quarter or once every 4 months.
Yeah.
They are there and they are donating.
Let
Yeah.
me tell you, Erin, those people are truly the lifeblood of the hospital. These people keep the hospital going because a lot of people don't realize the stent of blood. Blood has an expiration date.
Yes.
And a lot of people think they donate today, that blood's going to be there for the entirety of the year and they'll be good. But that's not true. You donate that one time, that blood is good for like 30 days.
Yeah, 42 days maximum
30,
under the
42 days,
pristine quality storage conditions. Yeah.
So think about it like a gallon of milk. Every time you thinking when you need to get a new gallon of milk, that's about the time you need new blood in the hospital.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Erin, my late husband Jackson Burnside was O negative. And my brother actually started working with Dr. Duck. I don't know if anybody remembers that name, who set up the first lab and blood bank in Princess Margaret Hospital.
Okay.
So I've been around blood for a long time, and he actually was trained by Dr. Duck. And when he went to school in Canada to learn this medical technology, he already knew the stuff, and he told Mommy, don't waste the money because Dr. Duck already trained me in all this. I don't need to go to university to learn it. But Jackson would be, every 8 weeks, they would be calling him for his own egg, and he continued to donate. I remember one day, like 2:30 in the Burnside, we have a woman having a baby, and she's on egg, and we need your blood. And he said, don't worry, I can be there, no problem.
Hero. Hero. QTEL, Miss Taylor, phlebotomist. A couple of things. First, are people here really afraid of needles?
Yes, a lot of people are afraid of needles.
How do we work people through that? What do you recommend people to do before they come, while they're there, to prepare themselves for that experience?
So we do encourage folks before coming in to make sure they have a nice solid meal. By the time as they come in for their donor procurement process, we do have a way of analyzing and figuring out, okay, this person may be afraid of needles. We could tell from the sweating or the shaking or even their blood pressure. Their blood pressure tends to rise or their pulse rises. So we assure them that, hey, you're in a safe environment. You're actually in the right environment if anything was to happen. But in that, after that initial prick, it's nothing after. It's very comfortable. It's an easy process. It's just you being calm on the bed. And
Those people who say, well, I get nervous, so I take a drink before I go, or I imbibe something else before I go.
No
drinking. We rule that out, right?
Yes, definitely. And for the most part, they are honest. They let us know, hey, I had a little something before I came here.
Calm my nerves.
Yeah, to calm me. Or, some young guys, they do. Which is,
They consume things in backwards.
Yeah, but you have once it's within the time frame of 12 hours.
We don't want to promote people coming in intoxicated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We want to say, hey, this person wasn't in their right stage of mind when they said they wanted to donate this blood.
Absolutely.
So we always promote, we say, hey, come in your most soberest forms, whether that may be, whatever that may be. We do an assessment. If you come in and you look like you are intoxicated or under the influence of something, you would be deferred just based off, if you come intoxicated.
You can't. Absolutely. And two things. First of all, there is a sort of a legal and ethical aspect, which is you have to be of sound mind to give consent for withdrawal of blood. And then the second is more of a medical consideration, which is what is in your blood.
Yeah.
And can we take blood from you at this time, and can we take the blood we get from you at this time?
That safety part of it is really essential, especially for our patients in need. Because you have to realize the patients who are on the floor in need of blood, their body is immunocompromised. All right?
Yeah.
So they are already fighting off something that is attacking them. All right? So we want to ensure that when we give them blood, it is the safest blood they can get. We want to ensure that, hey, this person isn't going to give you any thing. Even though we test all of our products before giving it to that person, we want to ensure the safety of the product that we're giving.
You have to do, because that's your job, to do the due diligence, and that's why we rely on you guys. Okay, this is awesome. The details again for the 3rd annual Doctors Hospital Glow Blood Drive and Health Fair, Saturday, June the 14th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Dowdeswell Medical Center grounds, Dowdeswell Street. If you turn onto Dowdeswell Street from Doctors Hospital and drive west, you're going to see it. You won't miss it. Mark, I found this wonderful press statement, press release. I want to read from it just a bit. Blood Pact is an innovative platform developed by Bahamian Mark Osman, who is collaborating with Doctors Hospital to introduce life-saving blood information technology to the Bahamas as a part of the upcoming World Blood Donor Day, which is also Saturday, June the 14th. Blood Pact is a mobile-first digital platform revolutionizing the blood donation process by seamlessly connecting hospitals, blood banks, and the donor community in real time. Through the app, users can register to receive and broadcast alerts about urgent blood needs or nearby donation drives, thereby enabling rapid response when every second counts. By replacing outdated manual systems and last-minute outreach with an intelligent, automated network, Blood Pact empowers communities and healthcare providers to maintain a stable, efficient blood supply. Mark, tell the people again how they can find the app in either of the apps.
Yep. So if they search in for Blood Pact, so blood BLOOD and Pact PACT, they'll find it. It's all one word. You could also probably do a search on Google if you need to, or even call a doctor's hospital, right? They could direct them to it if they really can find it, or go to the blood drive this weekend, right? Like you said, there'll be a QR code there so they could download it, but it's always available 24 hours a day on the stores, like you said, both Android and Apple.
All right. I want to go to a break right now. When we get back from the break, Mark, I want to ask you about the first innovation report. what that is.
Oh, yeah.
But the reason why I want to ask is, now that the app is up and operating, right? Do you have plans on expanding the app and the function of the app, the things that it can do? Also, when we get back from the break, Ms. Taylor, I want to talk about what I am learning may be an iron deficiency crisis among women in particular in the Bahamas, and maybe what we women can be doing to change that, places where we could go. And I got a couple more questions on the table as well when we get back from the break. You're on the clock with Erin Greene. We're talking with Mark Osmond, staff from Doctors Hospital Bahamas. I've got my co-host in with me, Rodrigo Ajua, and Pam Burnside, cultural advocate. And see, that's what I love, because everything has a culture. To better understand it, you got to understand the culture of things. You're on the clock with Erin Greene. We'll be right back.
Cleveland Clinic, care is everything. So when your primary purpose is to care for the world, you'd start with your community until you're accessible anywhere. You make complexities your specialties and put compassion before anything else, all to redefine what's possible for everyone, everywhere, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Doctor, my eyes have seen the years and the slow parade of fears without trying. Now I want to understand. I have done all that I could to see the evil and the good without hiding. You must help me if you can. Doctor, my eyes, tell me what is wrong. Was I unwise to leave them open for so long?
Welcome back to On the Clock with Erin Greene. As we get the show started, let me remind you all, I'm ready to go on vacation. Not from this job, though, because I could zoom in to the studio from anywhere. I'm ready to go on vacation, and I hope you are, too, because Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel want to take you on a 7-day cruise for 4 to Panama, Colombia, Curacao, and Aruba on Royal Caribbean's Serenade of the Seas. And here's the best part. No visa required. That's right, no visa required. You have 4 ways to enter, 4 ways to win. 1, fill out the form in the Nassau Guardian. 2, listen to Star 106.5 FM and Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. 3, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. 4, make a purchase at Going Places Travel. Entry deadline is June 27, 2025. Drawing on July 4th, 2025. So pack your bags, get ready to soak up the sun, and feel that ocean breeze. You and 3 loved ones sailing the high seas on a vacation cruise of a lifetime. Brought to you by the Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel. Certain conditions apply, airfare taxes and gratuities not included. Now, I don't know raccoons in the bush next to my house or radio, but they listen to Guardian Radio too. And the last thing they said to me last night was, Greene, you see the commercial say you don't need a visa. When you win this, you better take us with you. Anyway, this no visa required thing is awesome, and it makes the trip more accessible. Going places, travel, and Guardian Media Group cruise giveaway promotion. Buy the paper, submit your entry. Okay, let's get back to this conversation. I put a number of things on the table. Mark, Mr. Osmond, I mean, I don't really want to go into the innovation report at this time. I'm going to have you back for a whole entire show about it. But the app is awesome. Do you have any plans on expanding or adding any other elements to the app in the short term?
So right now we're in what we call Evolution 1.
Okay.
And really like the app with the importance of cooperation networks and community. We're going to rely a lot on Doctors Hospital from day one. Talking with Brenzel and Cutel and the team at Doctors Hospital, there was this different ways it could be applied, and so hopefully as we get from Evolution 1 to say 4, we'll end up with some AI generated kind of forecasting, et cetera. So yeah, we definitely plan to develop, but are really looking forward to what we learn with the partnership with Doctors Hospital and what they kind of tell us.
Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, now I got a question for Brenzel and Cutel. When I went to give blood the last time, I was told that I couldn't give blood because I had an iron deficiency. And then while I was sitting outside catching myself, I heard a number of people saying, well, yeah, I was told the same thing. And then I spoke to someone who said, hey, it looks like we may have a crisis on our hands, that a large number of women in particular are unable to donate. They're willing, they go, and then they're told that they cannot donate because their iron is far too low. Are you seeing that in multiple spaces? And is this something that we should be alerting broader civil society and the medical community to?
Yes, definitely. Women do experience low iron levels. It could be due to menstruation. It could be due to poor diet, digestive issues, or absorption issues. So we do recommend when females come in, you'll usually see that below the 12.5 mark.
Speak right into the mic.
Sorry. You'll usually see below the 12.5 mark. So we advise them to eat, leafy greens such as your broccoli, spinach, kale. Also to eat some red meat, like your beef liver is excellent. It has a high content of iron.
I don't mind that she turned from the mic when she said liver. Okay, so listen, it's an acquired taste. However, I've had it. You just have to season it good. You have to cook it good.
Yeah,
good.
You got to add your onions in, your black pepper, garlic, and all that, right?
But when you know that it's good for you.
It is good for you. Also, you can possibly go the medication route with your trihemic, or before you start that, you also want to see your physician before you start any regimen, right? Also, another thing that people do not know is that when you do take iron, in order for it to absorb, you have to include vitamin C. So as soon as
oranges, cherries, mangoes.
Yeah, right after.
Okay, right after.
Yeah, so the iron is properly absorbed.
So we recommend an iron supplement or whatever meal, iron-rich meal they're having, have orange juice or vitamin C supplement after.
Yes, and you also want to continue to monitor your levels, your iron stores, your ferritin, folate, B12.
And cruciferous vegetables. I remember Phil Davis Jr., my resident farmer, but now he's living on his farm. The plants that have like 4-leaf. Broccoli, Brussels sprout. Okay. Ways to improve blood pressure: exercise regularly, at least 30 minutes per day. Limit your salt intake, limit your alcohol intake, take medications as prescribed. Reduce your stress levels, eat a healthy, balanced diet, get a good night's sleep, monitor your blood pressure and get regular checkups, quit smoking. Yeah, absolutely. The get support part. Most important. When you're in it together, you feel better.
One more thing, Erin, you've got to just emphasize with the public of the prevalence of anemia such as sickle cell anemia. All right? We are one of the highest prevalence of that disease within, I'd say, in the
We are
region.
predisposed to it. Yeah.
And that is technically sickle cell. When we check your iron, we're checking the same thing. We're checking your hemoglobin levels. All right? And people with sickle cell, their cells deform when they have an episode, but sometimes every day, even though they don't have an episode throughout their daily life, some of their cells may be deforming, causing that decrease in that hemoglobin level. So you also have to think of that within the population, how that affects people with eligibility of donating.
All right. Now, Bayman's eat a lot of spinach, but the spinach we eat, winter spinach, right? I come here right now to tell you all I have a year-round spinach. I sell it, but I'm not selling it today. I'm telling you, if you are anemic, if you have iron deficiency, if you need to raise your iron, but you're finding that it's problematic, like cost-wise, you're having difficulty maintaining that regimen, come check me. I sell tree spinach sticks. Now, tree spinach, a.k.a. chaya, a.k.a. miracle spinach, is a hot weather variety spinach. It's heat tolerant, it grows year round, and it thrives in the summer when your traditional vine spinach and your farm spinach no longer is growing, right? And so I recommend it to people. We give it away basically. One stick you drop that on the ground and it will root itself, and you have a tree. It's great dark leafy green. And so if you have an iron deficiency, you also have like a financial deficiency, because I got one, I understand. Hit me up and I will give you some sticks for free. I'll give you some leaves to sample, you see if you like it. And if you're on medication, take it to your doctor. Say, hey doc, discovered this new locally growing plant. I did some research. You could find information on it online. But we got a caller on the line. Good morning, caller, and thank you for your patience.
Yeah, good morning, Erin, Greene, and to your guests.
Morning, sir.
Hello?
Hi, we're here. They're here.
Yeah. Good morning to you all. Grammy Boy TN. And I have a question I want to ask from COVID. Listen, issues of blood. I hear you speaking of issues of blood. Suppose a person is in need of blood. They go to the hospital, and the issue of blood is given to them. Do they run the risk, or do you all screen for COVID shots in the blood, or that wouldn't make a difference because the person getting the blood may not want to have anything to do with the COVID shots?
I get
that
you.
may be transferred in the blood.
Thank you, caller. And so this question has come up a lot, and then there's information in the public domain with a lack of certainty around it, right? If I have had the COVID vaccination, can I give blood? Do I have to indicate to the medical staff that I've had the COVID vaccination? Do I have to indicate to the medical staff that I have not had the COVID vaccination? And is there any concern about, like the caller said, the mixing of blood, although that's not the proper technical term?
All right, through our donation process, we do ask certain questions about vaccinations, but in terms of rejecting somebody as a donor because they had the COVID vaccine, that is not the case here.
That's not the practice here at all.
No, we don't practice that at all.
But you test everything, and so blood would be labeled.
We test them. Every blood that we collect before it is transfused to somebody, it is tested for blood-borne or blood-transmitted diseases, including HIV, hepatitis, HDLV, and syphilis. Those are the main blood-borne transmitted diseases, and those are all tested and verified that on to somebody else. The screening process is also extensive, as some people may think it is, because we want to ensure the best and safest blood is being given to somebody. So it is a somewhat strenuous screening process. We have about 70 questions that the person has to answer before they can even donate. All right, and we check. So that's basically just a personal history before we get their blood.
All right, here's a text.
If I could jump in.
Yes, sir.
Just from the social modeling side, that's a question that we got a lot when we were talking to different kind of donor networks. There's that fear that's in the community now about COVID, and there's also a fear you talked about, anemia, etc. Like with certain diet groups, right? So vegans, for example, or even carnivore diet, people that just eat meat, right? So they don't. So from the app side, when you create your network or your pact within your app, and you get your friends that you would like to receive blood from, as you build your own network within the app, you can actually filter. You could see, connect with a friend, and then as you register, you can say, if you've had a COVID shot, which one have you had, or what diet do you follow, right? So
Yes.
when you build your network within the app, you kind of have a social filtering, right?
All right.
All right, and also, Erin, direct donations is a thing because we understand that some people may have their tendencies, preferences to say,
It's like,
hey,
I'm
I
ha-
only want blood from this person.
I'm had hasty times. I only want crazy blood.
Yeah. And which is sometimes, which can be convenient for a person who is just coming in for something elective. But in your time of emergency, when you don't have that ability to say, hey, I only want blood from this person
Yeah.
and that person,
choose life.
it may bring up a different set of obstacles,
Yeah.
hurdles,
Yeah.
So direct donations is a thing. We always recommend, hey, you coming in for an elective surgery at all times, no matter what the doctor say is minimal, invasive, or whatever, you should call in your 10 donors to come right behind you and donate the blood to ensure that something is there, or at least if you only want that specific product, we can make sure I have that prepared for you.
Absolutely. All right.
And that's an amazing service, by the way, that Doctors Hospital obviously offer. Not everyone does that.
Right. Let's go to the next caller, producer. Good morning, caller.
Hey, good morning, Ms. Greene, and good morning to your panel.
How you doing?
Yeah, the last gentleman that spoke is very wise beyond his knowledge because I was told the same thing. It would be minimally invasive and et cetera, et cetera. And so I just wanted to share this as it relates to as a living testimony for me. I don't know about anybody else. My mom had colon cancer. She was in Doctor's Hospital for a while, and so she needed blood. And two friends of mine, along with me, went there to give blood. One who was a meat eater, his blood was unacceptable because of the low iron. My other friend, his blood was accepted. My own was accepted. And I remember they told me that my iron, I think it was 16.5 or 7. And so my own was the highest out of all of them. And it was a little just back and forth between us, right? But I don't eat red meat at all. And so I fish, conch, et cetera, et cetera. And so I don't know, I eat a lot of spinach and stuff. I don't know what it is, but the iron was normal. So I'm just saying that there's a myth about iron and red meat. You understand me? And so I have a question to ask as it relates to blood donations. In the States and in Europe, because I have a high-end customer who was infected in the States. I wouldn't like to say what it is, but how long did the scrutiny exist, whereby I was told that in Europe, because my husband is a European, that they have, when people donate blood, there is a blood bank history, in case there's a reference needed post transfusion. And so even though I would admit that the blood doesn't last forever, is there a system where it can be tested? It doesn't have to be good for consumption, but good for reference to say, in case a lawsuit that this person gave me this disease, because nobody's perfect and there are mistakes to be made. So I was just wondering, is there anything to secure that? Because people won't admit to when things happen, and how long does this scrutiny exist? And also, as it relates to the COVID-19, science is always constant. I mean, it's moving. There's hypothesis breaking, hypothesis making. We don't want to talk about science as if it's the gospel. And so there are people documenting that spike protein is circulating in the blood much longer than expected. I mean, these are just facts. There's personalized medical education online with people who are documenting this.
All right. Thank you, 52. And so quickly before I get to the next caller, here's a question. Is there a space accessible to the layman, not a doctor, not a professional, where I could learn more about the doctor's hospital's blood donor process?
If you come into the blood bank, we can go through any questions that you may have concerning blood donations during that donation donation examination. Me and Cutel are generally there all the time. If you have any questions or concerns, we'd use all of our resources to best answer all of your questions. Like I said, blood is probably the most scrutinized product that is given in the hospital. Full stop, period.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Full stop. I mean, when I say that, I get you. Full stop, period. Good morning, caller. You still there, caller?
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes.
You have a question for the guest? On the phone line. All right. I have a text here that says, can you please explain what HTLV is? I don't think we have enough time to get into it right now. Texter, I looked it up, and it's pretty extensive.
It's just like HIV cousin. It's more like a retrovirus that attacks your white blood cells, just how HIV infects your white blood cells and destroys your immune system. It's like HIV's cousin, just on a weaker phase.
Okay. All right. Now,
And I just want to mention that we reached out to the Cancer Society as well to make a statement because, of course, cancer patients always need blood, especially if they're going through chemo and whatever. And Susan Roberts, the founder of the Cancer Society, did a short video for us that I'll be posting on my Facebook page.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach out to Road Traffic Department and ask them to make a statement as well, too, because I can imagine that the number of injuries incurred in traffic accidents puts a strain on the healthcare system as well. Yeah, and the gunshots as well. But I want you all to know that a motor vehicle, not operated properly is as dangerous or even more dangerous than a gun, than a weapon. And it's important for us when we're making decisions on the road to consider, right, the environment in which we're making decisions and the risks that we're taking with other people's lives in this place where we still are desperately trying to stabilize and shore up our broader healthcare service. Right?
I guess that's why some people drive 7 miles per hour.
I think that's why some people think, they're driving that way, not considering that extreme can also cause injuries and be problematic. But this also speaks to another space. And I want to say this quickly. They're young people. If you're looking for things to do, if you're trying to establish yourself or build a career in the Bahamas, older people need transportation services. And older people, you need transportation services.
Not to them.
Look at oh boy, they will keep their authority. Y'all young people think Johnny Cake Road, flicking road for y'all. As far as the 310 gang concerned, he write that for them. But the most important thing is to remember, we are all on the roads together and we're governed by a standard, not a sentiment. There are rules, not feelings, that we must follow. To my guest, Mr. Osman, Mark Osman, thank you for joining me today. I hope to have you back in studio to talk about more innovations in the healthcare service and technology can come together to build, to create careers. It's awesome work that you're doing. Ms. Q-Tel Taylor, phlebotomist at Doctor's Hospital, Brentsville, doctor?
Medical technologist.
Medical technologist. Ms. Pam Burnside, cultural advocate. Rodrika Ajua, co-host, she coming back. Don't watch nothing. When work permits, she will be here. And the next time you all come, we're going to talk about the controversial subject, right? Should we consider paying for blood to boost supplies in the blood bank? There are some pros, but there are lots of cons. Lots of cons. We didn't have time today to talk about it, but I tell you right now, the technicians, the stakeholders, people closest to the space are telling me no, we do not pay for blood. No. And I could understand why. We're going to do that a little bit tomorrow. We got lots to talk about tomorrow. I want to know what y'all doing with these cars. I want to know what y'all doing with these cars. What y'all doing with these cars? Producer, thank you. You guys stay tuned. Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Nuri is up next. I really want to know.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.